If you track with the channel, you know we've had a great time working with Nintendo on Game Builder Garage and getting a whole bunch of different families making video games, many of whom thought they would never manage to make their own game. But as you can see, the results have actually been really surprising. But what we want to do is to rewind and to pull out the really crucial tips that we've learned from watching these families work with Game Builder Garage so that you can get off on the right foot and start your journey towards making video games with your kids. The first tip is get comfortable with the controls of Game Builder Garage. You can play the game in a number of different ways. Firstly, you can use it on a television screen with the controller in your hands and using the sticks to move a cursor around so you can, in a very controlled and precise way, pick the elements you want to edit. You can also switch into a pointer mode where you use the Joy-Con controller to point at the screen, much more like you would in a presentation with kind of a laser pointer, and that gives some people a much greater degree of control of what they're doing, and you then use the buttons to manipulate the elements of your game. You can also undock the Switch so that you're using it in handheld mode, and that means you can use the touchscreen to drag items around, to highlight, to select the different elements and different properties of each part of your game. And also that means that you can do that game editing on the go. Finally, you can also plug in a mouse. If you've got your Switch docked and connected to a monitor or to a TV screen, you use that USB plug on the front, plug in pretty much any mouse, and you can then use the mouse to control the Game Builder Garage system and edit your games in a much more precise way and make it feel much more like a computer. And you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and you can drag and drop like you would if you were designing a game on an actual gaming PC. The next tip is to take time to really think about what game you want to design. Don't rush too quickly into actually doing it on Game Builder Garage. Many of the families that we work with enjoy the process of talking together, deciding, well, what should their game be? What do they like doing on the Switch? And then actually, as you can see, actually drawing out and sketching not only what the game should look like, but where the different elements should be, where the hazards should be, where the spiky pits should be, and also thinking about the path of the player through these spaces and what level of challenge is appropriate. So that when you come to translate that into the Game Builder Garage creator mode, you've got that reference to go on. And as you can see, actually those games have turned out really nicely. The final tip is to not be scared to just try things. So one of the joys of Game Builder Garage is you can put some things together, and even if they're not perfectly working, click play and run around and see what does and doesn't work and what's fun. And many families stumbled on mechanics, parts of the game in this experimentation phase that they might not have done if they had waited until their game was perfect. You can then use Game Builder Garage to kind of iterate. So once you've got your basic game, you can add elements, take elements away, make it 2-player, make it 1-player, change the controls. You can add adjustments to the gravity or to the game world or to how it looks. And this kind of iteration means you can start from a very simple idea and work up layer by layer to create an experience that is actually really, really impressive. So there you go, that's our tips for Game Builder Garage. Get a grip of how you want to control the game, whether that's docked and on the TV screen or with a pointer using that controller, or whether you want it undocked and you want to use the touchscreen, or maybe you want to have it on a desk and plug in a mouse and use it like that. Don't be afraid to do some planning, do some sketching ahead of time to plan out what your games should look like. And then also don't worry if it doesn't work. Do that iteration, get something going, click play, have some fun with it, and then step by step improve it until you've got the game that you want. And then of course enjoy it and play it in the family. We've had a load of fun seeing what these families have created in Game Builder Garage, and I really appreciate the support from Nintendo that has let us do that and spend time to see how week on week they've developed and gone from the perspective of really doubting that they could create their own games to a degree of pretty technical prowess in this Game Builder Garage system, and really proud of the games that they've made. But for now, I think that's it. We're wrapping up our Game Builder Garage content, but we'll be back with lots more games for you and your family soon.